All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakadah. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of GMS on the Job, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. This is brother Yashimai coming back at you with another lesson. Now, as you may know, I am physically at work, doing the physical work for Esau Edom. But while I am physically at work, I am also doing the spiritual work by providing spiritual lessons and guidance unto edification that the Lord's sheep might be fed. So I am currently working, which means I cannot just pull up precepts on my phone. However, what I can do is give you the precepts that I have on deck in my mind. For we live and walk in the precepts of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that we may remember them as we walk in them. So I got precepts on deck in my mind. So today I wanted to talk about how he shall fly away as a dream in the night. Because right now, the way we're living, it seems like a total nightmare. You know, you have to get up at 8 o'clock. You get off of work at 3 o'clock. You have very little time to spend with your family. You know, by the time you finish paying all your rent and bills, you barely got any money. We're breathing in air, and nowadays you don't even know what you're breathing in. You don't know if you're breathing in mercury, estrogen, you know, we're breathing in aluminum, we're breathing in barium, arsenic. We're breathing in chemicals that's not even listed on the chemical trail list that we're breathing in. Okay? You know? And not only that, but our food is polluted, GMO foods.
345.
You know, everything is all corrupted in this society, and the air is constantly being polluted by planes flying up in the sky, helicopters, vehicles. You see, helicopter, vehicles. You know, they're putting chlorine in the water, in the air. There's all these chemical spills. There's all these train derailments, you know. And you can even look at the countenance of certain animals and tell that they're even in mourning, because their habitat is not even a natural habitat anymore. Okay? You know, some animals cry, man. Some animals cry because animals can't be animals. Birds can't be birds. Fishes can't be fishes. Insects can't be insects. Nothing can do what it's supposed to because the wicked is in rulership. And when, like it tells you in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Are we rejoicing right now? The answer is no. Why? Because we are currently living a nightmare. We are living, which a nightmare is just a bad dream, right? That's what a nightmare is. A nightmare is just a bad dream. You know? So it's like, no matter which way you turn, man, everything is just a living fucking hell, man. You know? Our bodies don't even know what fresh air is, because the moment we was born in this society, we was born into a society where vehicles were already polluting the air. And it's not just vehicles. You know, the sidewalks you walk on is polluting the air. The streets that you drive on is polluting the air. The tires on your vehicles is polluting the air. Because believe it or not, tires is made from what? Rubber. Rubber is chemicals. You know, tires are made from chemicals. Rubber, plastic, that's a chemical, which contains a chemical called bisphenol, which is known for causing cancer, hypertension, and pregnancy. You see, ADHD. $4.95. You see? You know, it's known for causing hypertension and pregnancy. It's known for causing osteoporosis, which is a bone deteriorating disease. It's known for causing ADHD, Alzheimer's. Okay, the water you drink has microcosmic shrimp in it, feces, chlorine, fluoride, okay, lead. And all these things are extremely harmful to the brain, to the point to where, you know, it could cause particular brain cells in your brain to malfunction. You know, why do you think, you know, when children get to a particular age, right, people think they have some kind of mental illness about them? It's not that they have some kind of mental illness about them. It's just the fact that the food they're eating, you know, the air they're breathing, even the things they're touching is harmful to them, you know? Like you might have some grandchildren at your house, right? They might be running around, jumping on furniture, and you know, they're putting their hands on walls, right? You know, you might see children putting their hands on walls. Well, wait a minute though. What's on the walls? That's paint. Paint is what? That's chemicals. Okay, paint is literally chemicals. So there's chemicals in your house. You know, some people, you know, they walk into their house and they're like, wow, the smell of fresh paint. But believe it or not, paint is nothing but harmful fumes. Harmful fumes that's not meant to be in the body. So, man, we got to get the hell out of here, man. And like I mentioned earlier, you got the train derailments going on. You know, you got all these farmers, you know, they're killing themselves because the government is oppressing them. They're fining them for not using their recommended seeds, which is what? Monsanto seeds, GMO seeds. You know, and in Second Esdras, in the book of Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, it says what? The tillers of the earth shall mourn. Who are the tillers of the earth? That's all the farmers.
Yeah, 345.
No, that was my fault. I put those there.
Oh, okay. I was just asking which one you put this?
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. I'll move it. Because I just brung that one over. That's why I was
But you know, even these farmers are in mourning, you know. And then if you notice, right, they're saying that there's something going around called the bird flu, right? Well, what if I told you that the bird flu never existed? Okay, the bird flu, this so-called bird flu did not exist until the Edomites rose up into power and literally took over, took over the land of America. Okay, and in other words, what I'm saying in a roundabout way is that the bird flu is a hoax. Okay, it's a lie. Okay, they came up with the bird flu to justify killing off our livestock, killing off our food supply, because it's all about systematically bringing in a famine to starve out the people. You see, the so-called elites, they don't want you people going to so-called independent contractors or independent department stores to buy your food. They want you to go to them for the one of all things. Why? Going back to the book of Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, because they have set their mind as the mind of the Most High, you see. They want you people to go to them and their government for food. Why do you think Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland? Why do you think they're trying to invent their own type of food through Monsanto? You know? It goes back to Esau trying to play God. You know, they put cow snot in your milk. They put rat hairs in cereal. They put metal in cereal. They put metal in Similac. Okay, they put rat shit in chocolate. You know, there's an ingredient called animal rennet. Okay, which is a particular ingredient that comes from pigs. This is the same kind of ingredient that they use to turn cheese yellow. Now, not every cheese has animal rennet in it. You know, some cheese is made from enzymes, which enzymes is the protein that you get from eating cheese. But some cheese is made from animal rennet, which is a compound that comes from pigs. Okay? Salak. I'm over here working, lifting these tires. Some of these tires weigh over 300 pounds. So, gotta operate this machine here. Lift these things up. But yeah, man, even our food is defiled, right? Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 13. And even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So it was prophesied for us to eat defiled food, which your bread really represents your food supply. Okay? Here it is. They sell you ground beef, right? They sell you ground beef knowing that some of these Edomite farmers be having sex with their animals. Okay? They're having sex with our cows, our bulls, our sheep. And then when they have no more use for them, okay? When the booty hole of these animals are too loose for them to stick their rod in, they chop them up in chop shops. They package the meat on them, and then they sell them in your markets. Okay? Another reason why so many people are in mourning is because, here it is. You might have a child, right? Your child might be 7 years old. You love this child to death, This child's your everything, Nothing brings more joy to your heart than to see your child, smiling, smiling at you, saying, thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy. And then one day, your child come up missing. And nobody can seem to know where he or she is at. Okay? Meanwhile, nobody can seem to figure out where your child is at, right? But here it is. They have satellites in outer space that can spot an ant on the ground. You mean telling me you cannot locate a missing child? So this whole world is in a constant state of mourning, okay? And it's going to remain in a constant, state of mourning until Yahweh Shai returns. So this whole earth that we're living in is no more than a nightmare, man. It's no more than a nightmare. Okay, you cannot even let your children go out inside without worrying about some weirdo trying to molest them. You can't let your children go outside without worrying about some white or black van with no windows on it except for the first 3 windows on the front of the van, which is normally the driver, the passenger side, and the front of the van, right? But every other part of the van is, no windows, right? You can't even let your children go outside without some van like that showing up in your neighborhood and enticing your children and luring your children to the van in order to kidnap them. Kidnap them for what purpose? To be sex slaves to the super rich, the so-called elites, the so-called global elites, to be sex slaves to these Bohemian Grovians. You see? Or just to be a sacrifice, okay? How many of these children come up missing each year? We're talking tens of thousands of children come up missing. And they either end up on one of these secret islands, like Epstein's Island. They either end up somewhere deep underground inside of Pizzagate, getting gang molested by a bunch of grown-ass Edomite men or women, and basically these children are constantly crying. They're crying, I want mommy, I want daddy, but guess what? There's nothing mommy and daddy can do because this wicked government, which we are currently under, is backed by the police force. Okay? This wicked government is owned and backed by the so-called elites. So even if you did tell the police about your missing child, there's only so much your police can do, because if your police find out that the so-called elites have your children, okay, there's only so much that the police can do to look for your children. But if they realize that your children are in the custody of the so-called elites, well, guess what? There ain't shit that the police can do about it. Okay? Because who's ultimately paying these police officers? The so-called elites are. So we live in a heavy, unjust society. Like I said, children can't be children, teenagers can't be teenagers, men can't be men, women cannot be women, animals can't be animals, birds cannot be birds, insects cannot be insects. The marine life cannot be marine life. Nothing can be what it's supposed to be because the wicked is in rulership. And like it tells you in Isaiah 29 verse 16, surely a turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. Who has everything turned upside down in this society? The so-called elites. Okay? You got women who are masculine and doing what? Ruling the household. Okay, wearing white beaters, you know, walking around with fades, with a toothpick in their mouth, acting like a dude, you know, strapping on a dildo, women having sex with other women, complete confusion and total abomination. You got Transformers walking around with blue, yellow, pink, and red hair, taking credit for the rainbow. Not even understanding what the rainbow is. Because, come on, think about it. What is a bow? A bow is a weapon. Is not the Lord a man of war? Think about it. The Lord gave a rainbow as a covenant between him and Noah that he would no longer flood the earth. That was a promise the Lord made to never flood the earth again. So the rainbow, the bow, which is a weapon, right? So the rainbow really, it's really a sign, a promise from the Lord to Noah that the Lord would never flood the earth again. But here it is, you got a bunch of Transformers, you know, the LGBTQ, you know, community using the rainbow flag as some, you know, effeminate, you know, fruitcake, Transformer, petty type shit, man. And you don't think the Lord is angry about that? Okay? The Lord is highly angry about it. You know? So the whole entire earth is in a state of mourning. Like it tells you in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. Believe it or not, even the earth itself is in mourning. Okay? The earth itself is in mourning. Okay? Because guess what? The earth itself is a living species. Okay? The earth itself is a living species. Okay, the earth itself is a living species. Okay, but what is the devil doing? Dropping nuclear waste in the oceans. Yo, did she need me to bring more of those wheels over there?
Huh?
Did she need me to bring more of those wheels over there?
Nope. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna help y'all clear this line because y'all got a lot of sticker in here.
Okay.
Watch your feet. Sorry.
Just one moment. Two, three, four. But you know, like I was saying, the earth is mourning, but what is Esau Edom doing? He's dumping nuclear waste in the oceans. He has landfills in the oceans. He's dumping radioactive waste in the oceans, okay? A lot of these power plants, which relies on water, a lot of these power plants, which rely on water, you know, all that water that's being used by these power plants they become toxic and no longer drinkable. You know, where's all that water going? It's going right into these lakes and these different rivers. These same lakes and rivers which provide water for our trees, our forests, our jungles, the grass, bushes, fruits, vegetables. And, you know, these are the same soils where our food is grown from. So, right now, we are living a dream. Okay? You know, we're living a bad dream, however. And a bad dream is what? A nightmare. But soon, the good news, which is the gospel, right, is that this bad dream is almost up. It's a lot. You gotta make sure the stickers on that. Okay. The good news is that this bad dream is almost over. And this bad dream ending starts with, you know, the elect hearing this gospel first and foremost. But this bad dream really comes to an end because right now we're at the beginning stages of this bad dream coming to an end, right? Because the elect is hearing the gospel, the good news. But this bad dream is really going to come to an end when Yahweh Shai returns. Because once Yahweh Shai returns, then what? Then comes the salvation. The elect is going to receive salvation, the 1/3. The elect is going to receive salvation on this side. You know, because once the elect gets beamed up into those chariots, it's all paradise from there on out. And then what? Well, it mentions what happens next in the book of Revelation 20:4. Okay? You know, they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. So during that 1,000-year period, the elect is going to be reigning with Yahweh Shai. Okay? And during that 1,000 year that we're going to be reigning, we're going to have these heathens in subjection. Okay? The heathens are going to be our slaves. And I'm going to just list the biblical nationality of these heathens as I go down the list. So we're going to have the Arabs, which are the biblical Ishmaelites and slaves. We're going to have the East Indians, which are the biblical Elamites as slaves. Okay? We're going to have the Africans, which are the biblical Hamites as slaves. You know, we're going to have the Edomites, which are these so-called white people as slaves. Okay. we're going to have, those so-called Israelis who are also descendants of Esau, biblical Edomites, okay? Those so-called Israelis, those people come from the line of Esau, okay? They are the true descendants of Amalek, which is one of Esau's grandsons, okay? Guess what? They are going to be slaves. That's according to biblical prophecy. The Hawaiians, the Samoans, okay, which are the biblical Japhetic people, they are going to be our slaves. The Chinese people, the South Koreans, the North Koreans, they're all Moabites. They're all the descendants of Moab. According to biblical prophecy, they are going to be our slaves. The Japanese people, which are descendants of Ammon, they are Ammonites. They are going to be our slaves. So for 1,000-year period, we're going to have these heathens, as slaves in the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to use them to build up the kingdom. From our precious palaces to our sidewalks, to our streets, to our walkways, to our to whatever our hearts desire. The Lord is going to allow us to use them to build it up for us. Okay? Okay? And after that 1,000-year period, what's going to happen? All of the Edomites, everybody who is a descendant of Esau, is going to be eradicated from out the face of the earth. They're going to be deleted, annihilated. They're going to be exterminated from out the face of the earth. So all Edomites are going to be exterminated from out the face of the earth according to biblical prophecy. But as for the rest of the heathen, the Chinese, Japanese, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Africans, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, the Japanese people, the Africans, they're going to get their inheritance. They're going to get their own inheritance, their own land, and they're going to be able to enjoy life. Okay? They're going to be all right. They're going to have their own inheritance, and they're going to be all right. But the fact that, the Edomites are going to be exterminated from out the face of the earth, that's going to be the fulfillment of Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Shame shall cover who? The Edomites, and they shall be cut off forever. Meaning, you're not going to hear about another Edomite in the kingdom, okay? And to show you that when the Lord said forever, that it's not talking about from generation to generation, right? When the Lord said forever, he was literally talking about for eternity, basically. You're going to never hear about another Edomite. And the proof of that is what? The book of Job, the 20th chapter, where it says, the eye which seen him shall see him no more again. Neither shall his place behold him anymore. What did Job mean by neither shall his place behold him anymore? It means his place is a metaphor, a dark saying for his existence. Esau is not going to have an existence anymore. He's not going to have an existence anymore, okay? So neither shall his existence behold him anymore. Neither shall his place, his existence behold him anymore. So Esau, he's not going to have a existence anymore. Not in the kingdom of heaven. After he served his 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom of heaven, he's going to be did away with, okay? He's going to be did away with. Okay? The eye which seen him shall see him no more. And it literally means just that. Yea, he shall perish forever as his own dung. When you take a doo-doo in the toilet and you flush it down the toilet, does your own shit, pop back up the pipe into the toilet bowl? Like, yeah, what's up, nigga? You thought I was gone or something? Nah. Once you flush that shit down the toilet, you don't see it again. That's how the Edomites are going to be after they serve their 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom. You're not going to hear about another Edomite unless somebody reads the Holy Scriptures. And one day one of your children might, open up the Holy Scriptures and he might read about Esau, Edom, and then he realized, there ain't no Edomite, there ain't no Edomite on the planet anymore. Then he might ask you, like, Dad, who was Esau, Edom? Then you might explain, the whole story to them or whatnot. But other than that, man, ain't nobody gonna ever have to look at another red bastard on this planet ever again, man. Why? Because he shall fly away as a dream in the night. Just like when you wake up from a nightmare, you glad the nightmare is over, and you glad it was just a nightmare and not reality. Well, guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, after these red bastards served their 1,000 years of slavery, they're going to be eradicated from out the face of the earth. And there ain't going to be no more polluted water, no more microcosmic shrimp in water, no more chlorine in water, no more spit and feces in water, no more fluoride in water. There ain't going to be no more lead in water, no more mercury, barium, arsenic, estrogen, aluminum. No more of these harmful metals being sprayed in the air. No more of the air being polluted by vehicles driving down the street, by airplanes or helicopters flying through the sky, or jets or war jets flying through the sky. No more of that, man. There's going to be no more of that. No more GMO foods. No more, eating fake foods. No more Frankenstein foods. No more eating, no more of having to question what's in your food before you eat it, No more taking showers in small ass bathtubs, because and I'm pretty sure a lot of you brothers can agree with me on this, but sometimes you take a shower and you just feel uncomfortable because there's just not enough space. Your bathtub is all small as shit. You feel all cramped up in there and shit. No more having to take a shower in a small ass bathtub, man. You see? No more having to wake up and you're looking at the same houses, you're looking at, the same neighborhood, the same people, the same store, the same street lights. No more of that, man. When you wake up, if you want to decide to go explore something new that the Lord created, guess what? You'll be able to leave the earth, go to other planets, and be able to explore even greater wonders than what you've ever experienced here on earth. There's going to be no more mourning, no more crying, no more having to worry about your children coming up missing, no more having to worry about animals consuming your children, no more sinning. No more of worrying about if the Lord's going to judge your child for something that he or she did in their past life. No more of that, man, because we're all going to be perfect in the kingdom of heaven. No more mourning, no more crying, no more pain, no more having to get up and go to work. Hey, Jake loves to party, right? Well, guess what? Every day is going to be a party in the kingdom of heaven. For the Israelites, that is, except for the Sabbath. No more having to worry about being homeless because you lost your job. You know, no more having to worry about your woman sleeping around on you. No more of your woman bucking up against you. You know, we'll finally be able to enjoy sex in the kingdom. No more having to worry. No more having to worry about, you know, if you got your woman pregnant or not. If, you know, if you're gonna have to deal with child support. You know. You know, no more being unappreciated for your hard work. You know, if you come up with something creative and you do it, you're going to be praised for it. You're going to be appreciated for it in the kingdom. You know, you do something creative on this side, right? And nobody really appreciates you for it, you know? Well, a very small few people may appreciate you for it. But come on, man. Here it is. We doing all these cool feats, right? And yet we're still being looked down upon by these other nations. Hell, even our own people look down on us, you know? Nothing you ever do on this side is enough to, you know, make these people appreciated of you. But in the kingdom of heaven, people will truly appreciate you and your creativity and whatever you put your hands to do. Because we're going to prosper in whatever we set our hands to do, you see? You know, and so when the kingdom of heaven comes, brothers, it's all happiness, joy, excitement, and pleasures forevermore. You know, and it all starts with Yahushua returning, these heathens serving their 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom of heaven being established, and of course, the Edomites being exterminated from off the face of the earth. Why? Because he shall pass away, he shall flee away like a bad dream. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.